I could have classes 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, and then fixing work in between.
Hello guys and welcome to the channel. Today I have an international student who has been productive, and she's going to tell us where she's from and how she was able to manage her time effectively. I guess she was juggling with 2 or more jobs, but we'll get into that very soon. And over to you. So tell me about yourself and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Onuwale Luashe Toya. I get people to call me Tiffany because it's my English name and it's also easier to pronounce. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, and I am a British citizen.
All right, that's good. Yeah. So when did you come into the UK and how was it like your experience? And I know you're currently studying, so let's get to know what you're studying when you came into the UK and your experience so far.
So before coming into the UK, I went to a college for about 3 months. So during the process of me being in the college, most of my application for uni was done by my elder sister and my dad. So I wasn't really actively involved in it. I was just told to sign a few documents, and then later on it was like, okay, you're going to go to uni now, and this is like 2 days before I had to leave. So it was very weird having to like rush and like pack stuff like 2 days prior to coming into the country. But yeah, it wasn't a hard process because, like I said, I wasn't really actively involved in it. But then the process of getting ready to come and actually like packing up my stuff and everything was like a dream, because at the end of the day I'm like, I'm actually leaving home. And it didn't dawn on me until I landed in this country and there was no mommy and no daddy.
Oh.
Oh wow. Because at the time of coming into the country, I was literally 15 years old.
Wow.
Leaving home at 15. My mom was very worried and she kept on asking, are you sure you want to leave now? Like, you can actually wait like an extra year. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. And I was like, okay, we can do this. So coming in, luckily I had my sister. So I had my elder sister that was already here. So like I said, she was also involved with the process because she was working in international college at the time of the uni I went to. So she helped a lot with like processing. She helped a lot with learning about the environment, introducing me to like bus services and how to move around, which was really useful.
That's good.
And cooking for me as well, because
wow.
she would always come and cook and like put food in the fridge.
Lucky.
So I didn't really have to do a lot of cooking because I was like, okay, I'm actually going to have to learn this now. But luckily she was there, so that was really nice.
That's good. So your first experience here was a bit helping hand.
Exactly.
People right there.
So I needed that extra hand. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And so how was now your experience? Like now you're in uni, assignments here and there. How were you able to like cope? Because I know, was there like maybe like a language barrier, or you could not hear the lecturers properly, that kind of feeling? Did you ever experience that?
Let's start with the first thing, the language barrier thing. Coming into the country and being surrounded by a lot of like British English speakers, you unconsciously try to put on an accent. So when people are talking to me, I now go, oh hi, and then they don't understand what I'm saying because obviously it's a fake accent. And then I'm like, okay, stop trying to put on an accent. Actually just like talk so people can understand you. So yeah, that was also a process. And then me having to like work on my age factor, because like I said, I grew up in Lagos. People that know that people from Lagos have a massive age accent.
Last giddy.
They have a terrible age accent. Like we can say hair instead of air. It was bad. So yeah, having to break that down actually took a while, which I'm honestly still working on. And then having like Indian teachers and British teachers as well. Like I didn't understand my Indian teacher's accent in the first lesson. He always says, use your own brain, don't use someone else's brain. Yeah. That is one statement that will always remain with us. But yeah, obviously conquering language barriers will take a while, but thankfully because of that college period, we got used to the teachers around us. So by the time we got into our first year of uni, second year of uni, third year of uni, you're used to what the language is and voices and accents are around you.
That's
so it
good.
wasn't So terrible. So the second thing you asked was about assignments. In foundation, our assignments weren't so bad. We had a few English assignments that we had to do in a group and a presentation. That was my first time doing a presentation, and I was like, oh my god, I have to do well. I wore a dress and everything. I can still remember it. So we had to do a presentation for that, and then we got scored on that. That was really fun. And then we had like maths assignments, which I love because I'm studying maths right now. Not the actual thing, but we'll talk about that later. And yeah, just adjusting to a different environment, and obviously the people you gather yourself around with, because I ended up meeting loads of like other Nigerians, which will always go to the library together, try to get assignments done together and stuff. So getting those people that will push you to actually do your best as well is also important.
That's good. So did you work immediately when you came, or maybe you give yourself some time? Because I know a couple of people, when they come into a foreign country, they may have that mindset of they want to work immediately, while some may just like, okay, maybe let me give myself time to balance first for work. So how was that like for you?
So like I said, I am a British citizen, but at the same time when I came to uni, I had to come as an international citizen, and that is because I hadn't been living in the UK prior to coming to uni.
Oh, okay.
So even if I was to work, I could work maybe 15 hours a week. And then my dad was like, okay,
15 hours a week?
Yeah, you could work maybe 15 hours a week, yeah. And then my dad was like, it's your first time out of the house. It's your first time having to manage your time yourself. It's your first time being in a new environment where you are in control of what is going on. I will sort you out. Focus on your work, focus on your books, manage your time properly, get your assignments done, and then just focus on school. That was the advice he gave me when I first came. So about foundation, first year, second year, everything was on my dad.
Okay.
Like he sorted out my allowances, he sorted out uni accommodation, he sorted out school fees and stuff, and which I bless him for. Like, oh God, it was not easy, but he went through that and actually got me up to finishing my first year. And then midway through my second year, I was like, okay, let's get a job.
You need to start getting money now.
Let's get a job. Like, daddy's allowance is great,
but
it could be better.
Okay.
You get. So I was like, yeah, let's go find something. And luckily our uni had a cafeteria.
Okay.
Which wasn't just like a restaurant, but it also had Starbucks coffee, it had Subway, it had a different coffee shop somewhere else on the campus, like 2 other coffee shops. It had so many different locations we could work in. So they were hiring really people at the time. And I got hired. And luckily for me, I was working with like 3 other of my friends, or 4 of us actually. So having shifts with your friends at a workplace for the work people might not be good because then you have about 5 friends just playing around and working. But on the plus side, we were doing the work to a certain level, as long as we're getting paid. So we were fine. So that was interesting. So I was doing that, and then at some point I started assisting a lady that owned a hair shop because I wanted to learn.
A second job then?
That was a second job, more or less, yeah.
Wow.
Because I wanted to learn how to make hair, and she was like, oh, okay, you could come work with me as an apprentice.
Okay.
So we'll say it's an apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing that for along with going to uni, along with working at the restaurant at the same time and having assignments and stuff. So I was doing that about 2-3 times a week. Yeah. So I'm very bad when it comes to procrastination because I end up leaving things to the last minute. But at the same time, I'm very good with planning.
Okay.
So I tend to plan my time to the last minute. Exactly. So there could be times, let's say my busiest week, Monday to Sunday, I could have classes 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and then fixing work in between. So if I had a break between like 10 and 2, I'll work between 10 and 2 and do things like that. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, or on Fridays and Saturdays, work in the hair shop. Obviously Sundays we had to be in church. Oh yeah, and remember we were doing Adullam Campus Fellowship. Yep. So we had Adullam Campus Fellowship going on Tuesdays as well, which I was part of the planning committee for, and we had to do slides and all those. So I had to get down to, okay, planning my time. At this time I had to be at this place, this time I had to stay
Okay.
And if I have assignments to submit, I'm like, okay, at this time this needs to be submitted.
Okay.
And things like that.
Right.
So it was like planning your time, making sure you know what to do. Even if you need to procrastinate, make sure you have a set date that something needs to be done by. Because that was it for me. As long as I have a date and a time that something needs to be done by, it will be done at that time.
Okay, that's
Even
fine.
if I leave it to the last minute.
So how was your first assignment like? I mean, how was it like? Just tell me about that.
I can't really remember my first assignment, but I do remember one assignment that I and one of my friends were really struggling.
I like to hear that one.
Exactly. So we had an Excel data sheet and we had to fill it in with data we get from programming something else. I never did programming. I hated computer class. I never listened. And I always failed. So then moving from that to having to constantly program to get results was like, what am I doing here? So we sat down, we got through some of the data. We got up to a point where we're like, okay, this assignment is literally due in 5 hours. We're not done. We still have data to find and we don't know how to. And we're kept on plotting so many different graphs. I remember having a graph with like 5 or 6 different colored lines and I'm like, what is this supposed to mean again? And then having to extract data from that. So it was just like, okay, we can do this. And then luckily for us, we also found some people in the library in our course that was also trying to get through the assignment too. They were like, okay, we found that this is the particular line of the graph you needed to get your data. I was like, oh, okay, let's actually do it. And we got through the assignment, submitted it.
I remember my experience when you were talking about procrastination because there was one time I had a terrible assignment and I had to go to where? I mean, yeah, I remember. So I was working and someone said, can I come in and do like an MC stuff for them? I was like, well, this is good money. Why not? I took that and I literally forgot I had an assignment pending. Now, this is me, okay? I have to be honest with you guys. And I remember that time I had to take 4 Red Bulls just to get that assignment done. And it was like 3,500 words. And I finished that assignment in 1 day. I think that was where when I realized no more procrasticration.
Exactly.
No more doing anything I'm not meant to do.
Procrastination is so bad.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
It is bad. I mean, for you, since you're able to manage your time well, but me, I was like, I mean, I think that temptation was just that money. Like getting that money there, and also I'm also working. I was like,
have another story.
Why not? Okay.
I have another story.
Okay, tell me about that one.
This one is even worse. You know, when you do your project, you have to defend your project.
Yeah.
So I had my project defense, and I had on in my head that okay, my project defense is next week, Tuesday or next Wednesday or whatever. And I had set that ready. And I'm like, okay, that's great. The day rolls ahead. I didn't put it in my calendar. I forgot to do anything. I didn't set an alarm, so I forgot. I had prepared the slides. I had what I was going to say. Everything was set ready for this project. I forgot about it. And my friends came over that day, and we played games until 11 p.m. And then I looked at the time and looked at the date, and I was like,
no way.
I just fucked up.
No way.
I was like, oh my god, I literally just messed up. Yeah, so that was terrible. I was full on. So when I have a panic attack, God forbid I don't have panic attacks, but when I get really anxious and I feel like, oh my god, I've done something wrong, I literally just go silent. So I just kept on doing this. And then my brain just goes into, okay, what can we do? What can we do? Let's solve it. Just sort it out. Like, don't dwell on the problem. Find the solution. That's the first thing I always try to do. Don't dwell on the problem. Always try to find the solution. My brain was like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? So I went and applied for a plea to do it again. That got rejected. I went to meet my supervisor. He was like, I couldn't even meet my supervisor because he had gone on holiday. I'm like, why do you need to go on holiday? I have a problem. You don't go on holiday when I have problems. But he had to go on his holiday, and I was like, okay, sorry, there's nothing we can do for you. So I was like, all right, that's fine. Since it's not going to work out, that's cool. I went into a restaurant. had a nice 3-course meal, and I was like, that is the end. We will end it there. Like, wow.
There's nothing you
there's
can
nothing
do.
I can
There's
do.
nothing you can do.
So it's gone.
I mean, so you're currently studying,
Mm-hmm.
and what advice would you? I mean, let's make it real, okay? Because I know a lot of people watching this content. Maybe they're going to be students, or maybe they're applying and everything. So, what advice should we give to them? Because I think I'm going to give my own advice since I made that mistake too. So
Exactly.
yeah. So, what advice would
Don't
you?
procrastinate. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's not
Right?
worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not. Even if I'm doing it right now and I haven't started in 2 days and I'm here, but don't procrastinate. Don't be like me.
I'll tell you
I
guys.
have my time settled. I know when I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to get it done. Don't procrastinate.
Okay, that's
not
good.
worth it.
That's good. Well, for me, I'm gonna say, don't be tempted by money. Okay, I know we all need the money,
Facts.
but yeah, see, money is important. Okay, let's not deceive ourselves. But I mean, the main thing is, if we can do without that money at that time, let's focus on our studies. Because sometimes, I mean, if you don't understand yourself, because I know you understand how you can get things done, while there are people who they may just get brain freeze and that's it, and you're never going to recover from that. So understand yourself, understand if you are able to turn in that assignment on time. If you can't, then definitely find a way and get friends who are going to help you, push you, like study together. If you need to have study group, why don't you do that? And above all,
Study group.
yeah, above all, yeah, study group, guys. And above all, I will also advise you to make sure that you have maybe like 2 or 3 days to yourself as a time limit before the official time of your assignment is. So I don't know if you have any other thing to say to them.
Rest. Take time and rest.
I like that.
Don't let it overpower you. Like, don't let school overpower you. Don't let having too many things to do overpower you. I was going to uni, but luckily, I am going to uni, but luckily my uni is like 1 day a week. So I used to go to uni on Wednesdays, but I was now working 3 jobs on top of 2. That wasn't good. That was before I got my current job. Anyways, I was working at Pret. I was working at a tutoring center or a tuition center, and I was working. What was I working again? I was working side. I was doing
the coffee stuff.
Yeah, I was doing the coffee
Yeah.
job at Pret. I was doing. I was working at a tuition center, but I was also doing a side tutoring for some people I knew as well.
Okay.
So while going to uni, and I had assignments to do, and I had things. So like I said, I had my plan and I had my days already broken down.
That was good.
If you can't do that, then don't do that. But then I always had from this time to this time when I'm not doing anything. It's either I'm watching a drama or I'm sleeping. I don't stress myself. I don't even read a book because I'm like, so people might be like, oh yeah, that's a good like relaxing pastime. I'm like, no, I don't want to use my brain for nothing. So I'm just going to either watch a drama or sleep. But so always have that planned rest time because it really helps and goes a long way.
Okay, that's it, guys. So that's it, guys. If you have any question, let's find it there in the comment section. And as well, let me know your thoughts. And I see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
So are you going to finish this popcorn now?
Probably, it's nice.